Well, speaking of Game of the Year stuff, I think there might have to be a recount because I was talking to you about games. And a game that everyone's talking about at the end of the year that I got on because it's free on mobile is a little thing called Vampire Survivor. Have you heard of it?
You did it. Like
I
all of
have.
the lists are like, check this game out. This game is addictive. You should try it out. And
What?
you're playing it on phones, huh?
Yeah, because I know a couple people playing it on PC and they got it. And then so the company that made Vampire Survivor, okay, there's so many things I could go with this. As I play the trailer here, just because I want it going while I'm talking. It's gotten tons of positive. Everywhere I hear about it, it's just positive reviews. And the reason why the company that makes the game, the hardest thing was they didn't like anybody they were trying to pay out to do the mobile version. And every company that wanted to do it wanted to do microtransactions, and they were morally opposed. They're like, no, this is predatory. We're not doing that. So they made it themselves. Here's the biggest thing how they make revenue. If you die in the middle of the run, you watch one ad and you can get a resurrection to come back and finish the run, and that's it.
Mhm.
And at the end of a run, you can watch ads for extra gold. So that's the only way. You can't buy anything from them. It's just watch ads. It's never, and the only time it's in the middle of your play is if you die during your run. Dude, if you like numbers and you like things dying, this game is awesome for it.
Dude, do you feel like this is gonna melt your phone though? There's like
No,
1,000 things going on at
not
once.
at all. Because it's like pixel art graphic. It's like if you played any of the Castlevania games, it really hits like that. It doesn't push the system. What pushes it is it's so simple, but it has depth to it too, because when you get certain weapons, you learn, oh, if I mix this weapon with this secondary item, it actually upgrades the weapon to a super powerful weapon, right? So your first run, you're going to suck and you're not going to get it. But when 3 minutes, you're like, oh, okay, the numbers go up. It's about surviving. And then you unlock characters that start with different weapons that lets you get to spec out. I know that's Millie in the back. Yeah, she's a good girl. And I was so pleasantly surprised with this game. And everybody should play it on mobile if you can't, or if you want to play it on a console with controller, because you don't press any button, you just move. That's the other thing. You can play it. Thank you. You can play it just doing whatever. Excellent toilet game. Someone in our Discord was chatting or complaining that their game erased after like they were away for 30 minutes, but I've done it multiple times where I come back in like 15, 20 minutes. Got to continue.
That was gonna be my question. Like, so if you're mid-run, you like turn the game off, can you come back to that same run or not?
So on iOS, as long as you don't swipe up and like close the app, you can.
Interesting.
And so like I really want you two to play it because I'm curious to see what everyone's favorite weapon is. I think that's a personality test. Like people talk about zodiac signs, more like what's your Mario Kart character, what's your weapon choice in Vampire Survivor.
So I actually got into this game this weekend a little bit. It's on Game Pass. I played it on Xbox. I did not play it on a phone, and I was really excited to play this game because of all the hype from Game of the Years, like across the web. Like they keep mentioning Vampire Survivors at the top of their list, or at least in their top 10. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be it. And it's really addictive. Like it's really addictive. It has that one more run, or oh, I could have done this differently. And it's surprisingly, for what it is, it feels like it's something that could get very old very quickly, and it feels like it just keeps you on the edge that you're about to die every couple of seconds. And it's really really well made.
Yeah, it's really, but it's simple. Right? It's not like you just move. Certain things are ideal. Like I was like, okay, let me try garlic. Garlic's awesome. Garlic gives you a buffer.
Garlic's my number one right now.
Garlic gang. Where it's at. Garlic gang for life, baby. Let's do it. Yeah, garlic. And then if you get garlic mixed with the one that gives you HP back, have you done a hybrid weapon yet where you've gotten it perked up?
Yeah, I have done a handful of those. Yeah.
Have you beaten a level? Have you gotten to the full timer?
Yes, I have full timered about like 4 or 5 of the different levels, and it's really good. I'm at the point now where I'm not really sure how to advance to the unlockable levels beyond where I am. I think that I need to go through and hit some of the achievements, like actually start achievement hunting.
That's what unlocks characters too.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, because I kept doing the forest level without doing the next one, because I'm like, no, I want to get to the full 30 minutes. I want to get to the full thing and see how long I can go.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about, like, the run-based timers on the game because like, what I found myself doing is like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit down and play real quick," and then I'll look up at the timer, and it'll be, like, 27 minutes into a run, and I'm like, "I just sat here and burned a half an hour on this run. What am I doing with my life?" So, I don't know, it, like, cuts both ways. It's like, "Uh-oh, maybe I should turn this off and delete it immediately because this game is too sticky, too good."
Well, the worst is, have you gotten to like 29 minutes and then died?
Yes.
You're like, I gotta go. One more try. And it's
So
30
mad.
minutes. That's the thing.
It
You look
is.
up and time has passed. You're like, oh man, I could have played a lot of games and maybe progressed in a story. Nah, like, it's like, let me get the more numbers, please.
And I honestly think that that's gonna be what kills this game for me, is, like, going into a 29-minute run and being like, "Wow, that was amazing." I feel like I just blacked out and fast forwarded through time. But, like, at the same time, it's like, "Oh, I could be over here playing this game or making some progress somewhere else." Not that you're not making progress in this game, it's just a very interesting balance, and I
For
can see
sure,
why it's held so highly, is because it's probably one of the stickiest, like, one more time, and then all of a sudden,
bro.
you're another 30 minutes into a run.
The game somehow achieved time travel. I don't
Yeah,
get it. You're like, hey, I'm in the future. What happened? Ugh, you're. It's a new day.
yeah,
Um,
for
my
sure. I would be afraid to have this on my phone. Like, for the same reason, I refuse to keep Marvel Snap on my homepage on my phone.
oh, there you
That
go.
is the same reason I will
Yeah.
probably not download this.
I was able to wean off. Marvel Snap has seasons, so it's like, do I want to grind on the card? That's really what it comes down to. For Silver Surfer, I was like, yeah, okay, I want to get that card because I like Silver Surfer. But this, I haven't touched it in a couple weeks, but it's bad where it's like, like I would lose a lot of my life to it. It's a great game. Everybody can play. I know, like, don't touch it. It's really good. Um,
That's exactly right. And like, I think, and I didn't appreciate this like to the extent that I do now. And what I'm gonna say is like the game Hades, like them telling a
mm,
story in a roguelike where you can kind of have that run, and you're
right.
like, okay, and then you get like little bits of story that you pick up. I think that this game would probably be something that would stick a little bit better in my craw or my play style if it did have a little bit of a story to like
Yeah.
push me through. And maybe there will be a story. The thing that's interesting about this game is you start off and it's like select one of these two characters, and then you play the first level and it's like, oh, actually you can go with one of these five characters now, and now there's two more levels to look at. And like with each run, it's unlocking different systems and ways to interact with the game, which makes it deeper as you continue to progress. And I think that is a really smart way to go about it, because that's where they're building the longevity in this game, is
Yeah.
like, do three more achievements and then you get a new level, do three more achievements and then you might get a new weapon. Like, I'm seeing those combinable weapons, and there's still question marks on a few of them that I can't even access at this time.
Yeah, that's why you keep playing. Eric, I think this game could ruin your life. I highly recommend it. I would like to see you try it because I know. Well, what's the last? I mean, you played
You're
Pokemon
such a
Go.
good friend.
I am
What's
right
that?
because I would
Well,
just like to
Pokemon
hear.
Go, you're out walking.
That's
You're taking a
true.
walk.
Pokemon Go does promote a bit of health. This does not. This promotes you
Yeah,
sitting and losing
yeah.
track of your life. You're like,
Dude,
oh, I
Does.
Vampire
missed work today. This is
Survivors,
bad.
and there's like so much going on in the beginning. You're just like, how do you even parse through of all that? And then as you get so high level, you're so OP. You're just like, oh, it doesn't even matter. Oh, maybe I should go this way. Maybe I should go
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. Do you have a favorite character yet?
I like the knife guy, the guy with no shirt,
Oh,
and you
geez.
build that really quick. And then I also there's a character. Have you gotten the pentagram?
I have got the pentagram.
So the pentagram's nice when you perk that up. And then I really like the axe. The axe is great once you get that unlocked too. But knife guy's my favorite to start. I like getting the knife, and then I like getting either lightning or the mage wand because the mage
Mm.
wand hits whoever. And then I want holy water or a Bible. I want something that goes around me.
Dude, the holy water
And
is great
Garlic.
because it's great way to like manage hordes. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, if
with
you
the
get
name
that,
for it, WoW friends.
well, the other aspect that's important to the game is the perks in the option menu that you put your points into. So like you can get extra projectiles from it, and then if you get the duplicator ring with the extra projectiles, and then you just make like a sea, there's all this holy water that things die into. So good. Actually, I'm just going to be playing the rest of the podcast. Don't worry, guys.
It feels like you can straight up break this game. Like you can break this game with a few different builds, and I think that's why it's so brilliant. I'm sure there's a way to like carefully piece everything together and start combining weapons so you can be like the ultimate end game. And I'm not quite there yet, but I think it's really good. I want to keep playing it, but again, it's like I sit down, I'm like, I'm going to play a quick 5-minute game, and then 30 minutes later, I've gone through. I literally sat down at 9 o'clock thinking, okay, I'll play for a little bit, then go to bed, and stayed up till 1 a.m. this weekend playing this game, and it felt like a matter of 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're like sunken eyes.